All right, you guys. So we're going to be doing our weekly analysis for gold against the US dollar. And we're going to take this from the top down, meaning we're going to start from our highest time frame and work our way all the way down to the 4 hour to see if we can determine what gold has the potential to do this week. And I'm just going to delete these old markings off our chart so that we can start with something clear and you guys can follow along with no distractions. So when I'm looking at the monthly time frame, I can clearly see that we're on an uptrend. The last two candles closed bullish, but we got a huge rejection last month. On the following month, we got a rejection from the downside, and gold closed above the last month's higher high. With that being said, that we can see that gold is clearly on an uptrend for the monthly. That's all we want to be looking for, unless the chart shows us otherwise. But until we can determine if gold wants to go on a sell, we're going to be sticking with buys. So what you guys see me doing is just going down to the weekly time frame. I'm just going to be placing another trend line so we can clearly see what's going on. And as you can see on the weekly time frame, we have a trend line that gold is clearly respecting, is being respecting it for over 2 months, maybe even more. No, definitely more, because there's only 4 weekly candles in each month. So gold has been respecting this trend line for quite some time, and we've tapped it 3, 4 multiple times. But we do see over the last few months, gold hasn't really made any strides to the upside or the downside. So with that being said, when gold is consolidating like this and you really don't see it making any moves, you just want to be patient and you want to wait for the market to tell you what it's going to do. Because if we make our move before the market tells us, that's when we find ourselves in a drawdown or losing trades. Ever since gold took this big move to the upside where it went to 5,600 per ounce, we didn't really make any movement after that. As you can see on the daily time frame for the last couple of weeks, we've just been kind of consolidating just in this side to side movement. We're not moving up, we're not moving down. We can see that gold did try to make strides to create a double bottom, but it still didn't really go anywhere. So we want to find. Now, once gold got up to $56 per ounce, we took a steep dip down to dang near $44 per ounce, and now we're sitting at about $51 per ounce. Being that gold hasn't made any movements, we just want to wait. And all you guys see me doing here right here is showing you where gold tried to create some demand for buys, but we really didn't make any movement. It just sort of clustered up in that area. So when you see market clustering, it's not really going up or down. You just want to sit on your hands and wait. I'm going to be putting on a Fibonacci retracement so we could see if this is in the 6.1 or the 50% retracement area yet. All right, and now all you guys see me doing, like I said, is just putting that fib level on there because I want to see where we're truly at in the market. And this is the only indicator I use, if you want to call this an indicator. I don't use the ISR, the MACD, none of that. I just like to use the fib so I can know exactly where the market retraced to, and if we're holding that level, if we're breaking below or above the 6.1 to 50 retracement. Now, I'm going to draw another trend line on the daily time frame because I want to see why is gold struggling to break above this Fibonacci level, or why is it struggling to close below it? We know it's struggling to close below it because it's holding this trend line that we drew on the weekly. It's held this weekly trend line significantly for the last couple of weeks. And so now when we look on the daily, we can also see there's a counter trend line going on. What that counter trend line tells us is gold is still not ready yet. So if we try to place an entry for a buy, we'll likely get stopped out, because what we need to see for gold to truly be in movement is it needs to break this counter trend line and retest it so that we can get our confirmation that gold is ready to make its move. Until we get our confirmation that gold is ready to make its move, we just need to sit on our hands and not do anything. So what I would like to see if gold is truly going to make its move this week, I'm going to draw this up for you guys. I would like it to break above the counter trend line, come back, retest, and then test that $56 an ounce area to see if we'll break above it or will price drop back down like it did. Now, the market likes to repeat itself, so it's always good when you're marking up and looking in the future to also look to your left. Because when you look to the left, that's going to tell you what market did previously and what it's likely to do in the future. Now, if it doesn't break above the counter trend line, retest and hold that area, then what I would be looking for next is a break below the 46.50 area and a retest to about $42 per ounce. Now, the reason I would be waiting for it to break below that, because that's below that weekly trend line. The reason that price has not gone below that weekly trend line is because it hasn't broken and retested that area. When you're looking to get in trades, one of the main things you want to look for to know that you're getting into a successful trade is you want to know which direction is the market trending in. We already discovered from going to our monthly to our weekly that the market is clearly trending up. Even though it's trending up, we checked on our daily time frame and we could see that it's consolidating. It hasn't really decided if it wants to go up or down. Because of that, we're going to scroll down to our 4-hour. And this is for market entries when we're deciding if we're going to get into a trade. When we scroll down to the 4-hour this week, this should be the time frame that we're looking on to see if we see any patterns, any double bottoms, any double tops, any inverted head and shoulders, any head and shoulders, or any break and retest in the market to try and tell us what could possibly happen next. If you guys like videos like this and you enjoy my weekly analysis, don't forget to subscribe and come here every Sunday for a weekly analysis on gold versus the US dollar.